So I have lived here for nearly 2 months and my bookshelf still looks like that. So before I moved, I was planning to do a video on a bookshelf tour because I love seeing what other people have in their bookshelves and what physical media they have. Obviously, I love physical media, but I feel like what better way to get to know someone and their collection and what they like to read than watching them unpack their whole bookshelf and see where they put what where. See what is in their collection, like in depth, watching them unpack it and organize their entire bookshelf instead of me just like going across the shelf being like, and this is my YA and this is my thriller shelf, and you know what I mean? So that's what we're finally going to do. I am tired of having my books just in, well, you'll see where they've been and why it's annoying. And just looking at an empty bookshelf. Like this is the book situation right now. This is where the shelf will live. That's my front door, my couch, my front window. So this is where it'll live. This is actually probably where I will be doing my reading updates. Now I will warn you, this video will be quite casual, hence no makeup. We're just vibing out. I just have to get this done, okay? So it's on my to-do list, but I wanted to film it. So in order for it to actually get done, I'm just keeping it casual. So will this whole video be mic'd? Absolutely not. So there's going to be times it's really echoey in here where the mic will not be connected and we will not have nice audio, okay? But I'm hoping it'll be mostly just like montage and me kind of closer to the camera. So, you know, vlog style. My reading journey right now is very chaotic, but I am definitely due for a reading update. So stay tuned. I'm hoping in August, you will get a reading update because I have read things that I need to tell you about. Anyway, enough chit chat. I've been stalling long enough to unpack this bookshelf. So let's go over there. Let me show you where all my books have been living in this house and we'll unpack. This is where the audio might get a little bit bad. Okay, I'm hoping to stay close to you. Okay, bring you in a little so it won't be too echoey. But it's vloggy, it's casual. Anyway, so this is just kind of what it's been. These are all books that I've acquired since I've moved, so that is why they are chilling on the shelf right here. And then if we look, take a gander down here. This is storage number 1 of where my books have been living, okay? So I have a bunch of books. This is obviously not the best place to like store them. They're all jumbled around, but moving with books is such a nightmare. I highly recommend moving with a suitcase. You just throw a bunch of books. I did this like 3 times to move all of my books into this place because you could fit like half of these books in one box and then you have like 100 heavy boxes instead of just something on wheels. So moving tip if you're ever moving with a library. But yeah, so these are obviously all my books. Not all of my books, actually. Let me show you. It's currently a mess in here. Do not pay attention to anything but the books. Okay, so this is where I edit. This is my desk and we're in my office. These are all my other books. And I'm tired of sitting down to edit at my computer and having to put my feet up on some books. I mean, I don't actually do that, but like, it's just in the way. I need to move these books. So this is where they all have been housed since the move. So my plan is to do the suitcase first. Okay, so we're gonna do that. I did take a photo of what the old bookshelf looked like, so I knew where everything was organized because I liked my old system. So I kind of want to go back to that and just kind of recreate the same shelves that I already had and like where everything was stored. So let's start with the suitcase. Let's get some montage music going, and I'm just gonna put those where they were. I actually don't even remember my shelf. I'll have to go back to that picture, but let's get it going. Let's do a little mini book haul, shall we? Now I'm taking a little bit of a break. I think my issue is, I'm getting frustrated with the organization. The issue is I'm trying to replicate the photo exactly, and I just feel like this system is gonna have to change a little bit, and that's okay. It doesn't have to look exactly like what it looked like at my old place, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's take a little break, do a book haul. So first up, well, these ones I already hauled over on my TikTok if you watch my most recent physical media haul. But over here we have The Exorcist. Look at how freaking cool this cover is, first of all. I'm obsessed. This book, and actually this book, Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. I got both these on Thrift Books. These are gonna be in a future video for Halloween time, if you wanna guess what I'm gonna be doing. These two books I have already read multiple times. They are two of my favorite books of all time that I own on my phone. And I was like, you know what? I want physical copies of those books. So I bought A Short Stay in Hell by Stephen L. Peck. Love this dystopian existential, just incredible. Not too horror, but horror, you know what I mean? Come Closer by Sarah Gran. This cover, first of all, also fire. My favorite possession story of all time. I've read this multiple times. It hits every time. I love this. It's from a first person perspective of possession, so incredible. Anyway, got those, and then that's it. I already hauled those. This is my current read. I'm still reading Cold Eternity, kind of. I've taken a pause to read other things. I listened to an audiobook. I'm still reading Harry Potter fan fiction. Still doing that on the daily, so that's kind of absorbing my life as of late. All right, let's get back to it. I need to go get some books from the other room, so come with me. Okay, a little out of breath from carrying all those books, but fun fact, did you know I bought some romance? Yes, I did. You know that I don't really read romance, but you know, I feel like my mind has been opened. I wanted to do another reading vlog where I read outside my comfort zone. You guys know I did the disturbing ones, and then later this year we'll do another one. But I thought this would be a good summer one, but I have a conflict with it. I don't know. I just feel like Phantasma should be read in the fall or winter. I don't know. Am I wrong in that? I feel like this should be Halloween time. And then I got two other books that are romance that I think I might actually enjoy. I don't know, but I was gonna branch out and try to read some books that I don't normally gravitate towards. So that's where these three come from. If you're looking at my collection, you're like, something doesn't add up here. Yeah, these stand out. Not really sure where I'm gonna put those yet. We have all of my Harry Potter magazines, naturally. My problem is I had this shelf was like my read shelf. Okay, so the one above it, TBR, ones I have not read. This one I have read. It's completely full, and I still have books that I've read in this stack. Like, you know, I can't fit this in there. It's too chunky. So I have to have two shelves now of read books. I think I might have to kick Fern out of this shelf. Usually the very bottom one that you can't really see is her shelf of her books. She has a spot for books in her bedroom, so I feel like I can take over the bottom shelf again. I don't know. I like where things are going though. I'm liking the vibe. I think I'll make it work. We have done it. This is the last stack from the office. That is officially all of my books are now going to be on the shelf, which is very exciting. So down here is kind of a mess still. I'm liking what's happening up here. This is all my overflow from books that I have finished reading, and then obviously we have the Paul Tremblay stack, which is kind of bulky in the front. I wouldn't mind that being somewhere else. So I think we're gonna have to do a collection. I don't know. See, the thing is, I need to pick out the books that I want on display in my video backgrounds. I know that sounds really weird, but you know, I want my background when I do reading updates to look nice and have some of my favorite books and maybe books that I've read recently on the shelf instead of just a random mishmash, because that's all this is. All of this is unpacked very chaotically and not organized. But I'm gonna organize it off camera and just, you know, do that off camera because it's kind of annoying to just see me do like one book at a time. But this mess, we'll organize this and just like lay them out properly, like a real shelf. And maybe include some of these. And then the bottom shelf, these are like my Stephen King collection. So let's just get these put in order and a little bit organized with the bottom shelf. Okay, I really like how much progress I have made so far. I definitely want to rearrange some things, like a lot of these books down here, I want to include in this shelf up here, so I need to like make room for that. We have a random shelf, and yeah, another random shelf, and books I've read, books I haven't read, YA, nonfic. So I like it. I like where it's at. We're gonna do an organization off camera, and then we will do the full bookshelf tour, so you can really get a deep dive into every single book that I own that are at least on these shelves. So stay tuned for that. It's currently like 8:30 p.m. so I'm fighting against the sunset right now because the sun is still going down, so the lighting might not be great. I did get some B-roll of the shelf before the sun went down, so hopefully the lighting works. But yeah, let's do the bookshelf tour now. I did not put all my decor little decorations up because I just want you to be able to see the books. I feel like that's why people really watch bookshelf tours, not necessarily for the decor aspect. And I'm really gonna keep it pretty minimal and not put too many things on there. And I'm not even sure like how I wanna build my setup for like video backgrounds and like what I'm gonna put on all the shelves, because I wanna keep it pretty minimal. But let's go through each shelf and let me show you every single book that I own. I'm not gonna like name every single one. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna see where the wind takes me when we go look up close to these shelves. Okay, let's go. We have my YA overflow over here. So 13 Reasons Why Miss Peregrine's are over here. So that's a little bit random. Oh, we have The Giver in here too. So I just can't fit all my YA in there, but I have some like horror and media things. Like this is one of my prized, oh, that's my journal up there, by the way. This is one of my prized possessions, the Blair Witch Project dossier. I also have the complete screenplay for Interstellar, which is my favorite movie of all time. So those are a couple of my prized nonfiction books, or kind of fiction. I don't know. They technically are fictional, right? But anyway, then we have some like hiking books, which is really random. I love self-help, I'm not gonna lie to you, so I have a lot of self-help books like The Mountain Is You, The Inner Work. I also thrifted these books on death years ago. Naturally, I'm gonna have some pregnancy and like birthing books. I'm not getting rid of them yet because I don't know if I'm done having kids, so we're just gonna keep those. Again, lots of self-help. Becoming Supernatural, The Art of Happiness. This was Alone, I need to read that. I really enjoyed the 101 essays. This is really good. I absolutely love Wintering, highly recommend. And then on this side we have my manga, so Uzumaki by Junji Ito, of course. I have some other Junji Ito, but it's out on loan right now. And then Rings and the Ring original manga. The YA shelf, we have my Neil Shusterman Scythe trilogy. I still haven't read The Toll, but I did read the other two in the series. And then behind that is my Divergent trilogy. I have the Uglies trilogy, which these are my original copies that I read in high school. And then some more Neil Shusterman. I really enjoy his writing for a YA author. Obvious, this is just a given. I need to have all of the Hunger Games. I am collecting these, but I think they're not doing this collection anymore with Mina Lima, which is really disappointing. And then my OG Harry Potter books, of course. Again, the second one is out on loan to a friend, and then this is like is this a British edition or something? But it's just the first book in hardback. Now we're getting into the stuff you probably care about more. So this is my TBR shelf. These are all books that I have not read. This is a mix of thriller, horror, and books that have been sent to me. I did decide to split up my Paul Tremblay books, the stack that I had, and just put them wherever because I've read some and haven't read others. So these are a couple that I haven't read. And then I like putting like my newer books together. So these are ones that I've gotten really recently that I haven't read. Eric LaRocca, I really need to get on that. And again, some books that have been sent to me are down here. And I did split up Nick Cutter as well because I've read his other 2 books, but I haven't read this one. So it'll look nice when they can all live together. But for now, this is where we're at. So on this shelf, because it's like right next to my couch, I keep my current reads so I can just like reach over and start reading it. We have my other S.A. Barnes books over here. She is just an auto-buy author no matter what. Like, I am obsessed with her books. But yeah, this shelf is everything. Hello? Okay, well, Pepe's gonna interrupt for just a moment. So yeah, this shelf is everything that I have read. And obviously it makes sense that I would need to expand onto the next shelf below it because I just keep on reading. Like, I can't just keep it all into one shelf. So let me see. Some of my favorite books over on this shelf. Obviously, we already talked about Come Closer and A Short Stay in Hell. Nick Cutter's The Deep is my favorite by Nick Cutter for sure. Last House on Needless Street, obviously, I've mentioned that before. One of my favorites. Home Before Dark is my favorite Riley Sager book. I actually just ordered his newest book, and that'll get to me this week, and I cannot wait. Project Hail Mary, yes, I'm extremely excited about the adaptation because that's one of my favorite books written of all time. Episode 13, also one of my favorites of all time, found footage in a horror novel. The Ritual, so good. The Ruins, I mean, this whole shelf. I love all these books, basically. And then the ones I didn't love so much that I read, I put on this next shelf, so let's get into it. Actually, that's a lie. Some of this I've read and some of it I haven't, so this is kind of a mixed bag. I don't know what it is about me, but if I've read a book, I like to keep it, even if I didn't like it that much. The only exception to that was Final Girls from Riley Sager. I did purge from my collection. I just couldn't keep it. But like Kill Creek had so much potential and I wanted to love it, but I didn't love it, but I still keep it. Same with like these books over here. The Need and The Woods Are Always Watching are just okay. You know, they're fine books. We have Pepe's Tale right here. I don't know how I have 3 Chuck Palahniuk books. I never sought them out. I think one of them was loaned to Ryan and it just ended up here, so not really sure about that. But yeah, a lot of these I actually have not read. I think it's funny that Paul Tremblay is another one of my authors that's an auto-buy author, and then I don't read them as soon as I get them. So I have a bunch of his books that I haven't read yet, but he's still like my favorite author from just the books that I have read. Here's my mini romance section, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. This is the only Gillian Flynn book I haven't read, is Gone Girl, because I know the premise. Obviously, I've seen the movie. And Gillian Flynn, I don't know, her writing, I really liked one book. I liked Sharp Objects, and I really did not enjoy Dark Places, so she's kind of a hit or miss for me. I'm not sure. And then most underrated on the shelf for sure is Scream Queen by Ida von Belcom, reality TV show, just haunted house. It's everything I love. I love that book. Down on the bottom shelf, we have a mixed bag. I actually purged a lot of my Stephen King collection. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm just not as attached to him as an author as I used to be. And I just have a weird feeling about it. So I kind of got rid of a lot of my Stephen King book collection because realistically, I wasn't going to read them anyways. The ones that I did definitely keep are a lot of his short story collections, like Night Shift. I absolutely love this collection. Everything's Eventual. That I was obsessed with in high school. Yeah, Pet Sematary is good, and The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon is my favorite Stephen King book, but I think he needs to be known for his short stories more than anything. And then I adopted some Robert Heinlein stories from my mom's collection because I realized that he's probably an author that's right up my alley, and an older one at that I haven't read before. I love the movie Starship Troopers. You probably wouldn't expect that of me, but I really do. I think it's really fun. And then some of the random books in my collection, The Glass Castle, I think I got this at Goodwill because I really liked the movie. I just thought, why not? The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, probably not that random if you know me. I used to be kind of obsessed with Sylvia Plath in high school because I was that kind of girl. Carl Sagan's Contact, I really want to read one day. I have his daughter's nonfiction book that I started that I think is really interesting. So these are kind of like my lower priority books, the ones that I just have in my collection that maybe one day I will read, you know, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well as in here. Just lower priority because I really want to focus on a lot of these. And of course, these are top priority and the ones I'm most excited about. All right, now you have seen my entire book collection, basically. I think that is actually my entire book collection, so let me know what you thought about it and my organization. But that is officially where I'm leaving things with my bookshelf. Now all that's left to do is decorate it, which you will see how that ends up happening or what it ends up looking like in my next reading video update, which I'm hoping to film really soon. I hope you were okay with this like really casual style video, and I just really need to get it done, so thank you for bearing with me on the casualness of this video. But I hope you got to know me a little bit more based on all the books that I own and all the books that I have read. If you have any suggestions for what you think would be a perfect fit in my collection, please leave a comment down below on that. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.